location. This is your host, Tanky, and we are going to be doing more Rogue Trader today. So when last we left off, we have discovered that a chaos cult originating from a section of the Mechanicum has taken my factory world. My factory world. We're getting that shit back for me. Maybe the Emperor, maybe Chaos, but either way, for me. Or, well, Emilia, who I'm playing as. I forget how deep we got. Not very. I'm like almost 100% certain. Oh good, I'm mostly... Oh, that's very good.
Something of interest. It's about time.
The Emperor favors me today.
Blood mixed with machine oil is apparently visible on the dark floor.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Focus,
I am at your
Focus.
Just a minor setback.
Fuck.
You'll regret this.
Take heed, rogue trader.
Injured. I'm enraged. This task should have been accomplished easily.
Follow my
Mocking me.
Small, heavily augmented man in a filthy, tattered robe stands before you. As you approach, he hesitantly looks at you, his eyes filled with horror. A portable inscriber with a keyboard hangs from the straps at his front, and you can see his attached cerebral cogitator peeking out from under his hood. No, I'm not a cultist. They tried to corrupt my mind with their heresy, but I ran. I am manufacturer and Lex Mechanic Zeta 86. I performed the rituals for the machine secrets of Foundry 95 up until we started going mad. Priests devoted to the Omnissiah suddenly started praising the dawn of something or other. They stopped the belts, and then they desecrated the visages of the sacred machines with unholy symbols. Some of them resisted. The others grabbed them, tied them up, and then they turned their implants to heresy. I saw the madmen, my former tech comrades, deliberately connect those poor souls to corrupted cogitators. I watched as they were infected with the scrap code, and did nothing to stop them. I am recording the violation of the commandment of thine own forge be a true sentinel. Apostate Zeta 86, your accesses are hereby revoked. Proceed with your report. The icy rumble coming from Pascal's Fox causes the Lex Mechanic to lower his head in fear and contrition. I didn't avoid it. They performed the same procedure on me. I felt the touch of unholy code. I allowed it to control me. I abandoned my sacred post, and I followed one of the traitors, serving his will and gathering all the data from his blasphemous experiments. I was driven by an unholy impulse coming from the depths of my auxiliary cogitator, where the code had lodged itself. The whispers are dancing around you, latching onto you, but not for long. Maybe it will happen yet. Maybe it won't at all. Before I found a way to throw off the compulsion, I witnessed horrifying heresy, the extraction of true flesh and its decomposition on altars, perverse procedures that resulted in herotechnical abominations. I even accompanied a fallen Magos to the fabricator censor himself and attended the unholy mass he led personally. It was a wicked ritual, full of willful deviations and blatant inaccuracies, all to create ungodly monsters, an ungodly monster in the name of the final dawn. Praise be the gifts of the Omnissiah, I managed to disconnect my external cogitator, which I used for primary data processing. The machine is corrupted. The scrap code is locked inside it, like a beast in a cage, but anyone who tries to look inside will fall victim to the heretical program. My primitive brain has been marked by corruption. I still see their silhouettes, hear their interference. I sense the malfunctions in my augmetics. I was still saved from the great sacrifice. Oh, blessed are the workings of the Omnissiah and his benediction that shelters the weak from evil. Heinrich tenses ever so slightly at the Lex Mechanic's words. You see his hand casually stray to the handle of his weapon, but the interrogator is no hurry to react. No, not those constructs that are melted down in the furnace and sent to the depths of the manufacturing room. It is some kind of semblance of a cogitator, a nightmarish parody of a sacred machine, powered not by the Omnissiah's grace, but by unholy spirit and life force of the unfortunate imprisoned on the lower levels. I don't know much except that the fabricator censor saw that machine as special. It was special to him and to the crazies who defiled the Omnissiah's abode with their obscene blasphemy. For the final ritual, he even called one of the Astartes heretics who arrived at the after the start of the uprisings. He did something terrible, and only after that were they able to switch the machine on. It is a true abomination. Even standing near it is unbearable. I believe even those who have been deprived of the Omnissiah's grace still feel its influence on them. Its monstrous power utilized for unholy computations and chaotic calculations. Whatever that cogitator might spew out at the end of its cycle, no righteous soul should accept its heinous offering. Like the grace of the Omnissiah had left them entirely, replacing free thought and progress with blackest corruption. I witnessed them desecrating structures blessed by the fabricator censor himself. Though what do the blessings of that rotten traitor count for now? Like men possessed, they set upon the sacred instruments and assembled shells and nodes that didn't match any diagram or blueprint I'd ever seen. Sacrilege. The lay servants of the main units, they live in isolated segments under the sacred machine halls. I heard they were locked in there after the takeover. Then my crazed brethren changed the system for disposing of slag waste and covered the machines in cursed symbols. After that, they started the cogitator. They dragged the survivors out of the segments under the machine halls. Well, what the survivors had turned into. Demonstrate exceptional powers of observation and recall for someone who just happened to survive. I'm a Lex mechanic. Gathering data is the purpose of my existence. That's even what they used me for. He trails off, belatedly understanding the subtext to the interrogator's word. They used me against my will. The scrap code turns everyone into their slave. Before I rid myself of the cogitator, I was forced to serve alongside those who perpetrated these atrocities and witness their obscenities. Servant of the Omnissiah, I must know more about the final dawn, the fabricator censor, its mass, and about this machine as well. I could give you the coordinates, but even though I was present for many blasphemies committed by those heretics, all the details were captured and processed by my true flesh are in the augmetic that was corrupted by the scrap code. I am convinced that if I hadn't fought off the foreign compulsion in time, I would have been doomed. The corruption would have spread to my biological cogitator as well. The Lex mechanic taps a finger on the device hanging from his ear on several wires. I swear that no devout tech priest should come into contact with what's hidden in that one sacred device. Heinrich's expression shifts as he stares intently at the disconnected implant and the still intact connectors protruding from under the Lex mechanic's collar. The corner of his mouth twitches involuntarily. There may be a way to retrieve the cogitator's contents via another device. Oh. Even if the very idea of exposing a holy machine into the scrap codes wasn't profane in itself, my augmetics are not universally compatible. They cannot be connected to another machine spirit. They were created to interact with the system of my true flesh, to innervate my compulsor unit and output data via the inscriber. Once I am safe, I swear that I will immediately perform a cleansing rite and destroy. In other words, there is only one way to extract the data and store it in the cogitator. If we connect the cogitator to the augmetic system, the Lex mechanic will serve as a conduit for transmitting the data. We will learn details, even if they are incomplete, of the things he saw and heard, but is now unable to recall. The Lex mechanic, who has been listening to your discussion in puzzlement, finally understands what's going to happen to him and begins to back away in fear. No, anything but that. I'll die. No, it'll be worse. I'll succumb to the corruption. I'm begging you, please. I'd rather be burned as a heretic than have the scrap code in my biological cogitator. At these words, Heinrich pauses for a second. Oh, can I corrupt Heinrich? In failing to offer any resistance against the enemies of the Omnissiah, Unit 886 lost the grace of his machine rank and was recategorized as a resource of the manufacturer. The defilement and torment of said resource, if committed to the advance of the struggle against heresy, will not be deemed an apostasy or malfaction against the living soul. and upon expiry of the unit's utility, disposal is recommended. For the good of the Imperium, like a snake, Heinrich lunges at the Lex Mechanic, whose mouth opens at the beginning of a squeal. Pinning the babbling Lex Mechanic, Heinrich uses his free hand to feel for the connectors of the external cogitator, and then enter the socket at the back of his captive's neck. The Lex Mechanic struggles a few times, but then Heinrich twists for real on the cogitator's hanging wires. The Lex Mechanic lets out a chilling howl and arches his back sharply. His hands twitch and leap to the inscriber and begin typing furiously, pounding on the keys with huge force. The scroll that creeps out of the inscriber's printer continues to grow, undulating in waves of parchment that settle on the floor. The crunch of breaking bones can scarcely be heard over the hammering of the keys. After several minutes, the Lex Mechanic's fingers are well and truly crushed, and blood is spattered over the inscriber, but that does not stop him trying in vain to press the keys with the scraps of bone and skin that remain. Heinrich tears off the parchment and skims his eyes over it, sometimes frowning and looking away as though his eyes are paining him. It will take time to study this in full, but at first glance, the data from the Lex Mechanic's cogitator suggests something of the nature of the cult's major preparations. Refitting the manufacturer and accumulating resources mention the focus points. These are preparations for a large-scale chaos ritual. It appears the local cogitator, whatever that may be in actuality, is one of the key points in this list. We can learn more if we find the construct that was created on the fabricator sensor's orders. Coordinates are here. It is located here in the bowels of the manufacturer. Heinrich casts a final look at the Lex Mechanic, now locked forever in a cycle of mindless motion, and turns away. We had better hurry.
Victory awaits! We shall prevail. Already done.
Yeah.
My knowledge has its limits.
I did fine. I'll lay claim to the stars.
Nothing's impossible for this old officer.
The screen of the cogitator shows a scrolling line of repeating technical language. Staring at the obscure symbols gives you a headache.
Halt! I noticed something. It's about time.
Oh. Hello. Fabricator censored Cubus Delphim. A massive Magos clad in ritual garb lets out a binaric trill and turns to you. From beneath the deep hood of his mantle, two dimly lit eye implants gaze out at you. You hear another binaric tirade, this time clearly addressed at you. You dare address me in the vile tongue of savages? Me, the steward of Kiava Gamma, lord of the machine world? Kneel, pathetic spawn, if you seek swift disposal. You are one of the troglodytes who once had the gall to oppress my comrades and resist my will, a messenger from the barbarian who drank the sacred unguents bestowed upon her or through others' toil? Very well, then. And your appearance is the perfect opportunity to teach your ilk a lesson. My name is Cubus Delphim. I once held the title of Fabricator Censor of the Kiava Gamma Manufactorum. but I rejected it, along with other fetters that hindered progress. Once my faith was flawed and led naive fools from the cult Mechanicus into the darkness of ignorance. Now I am this world's master and serve the true gods. You tread upon their territory, and you do not number among their legion's servants. Therefore, you must be subject to immediate disposal. As senior functioning member of the priesthood of Mars, I, Magos Explorator Pascal Hanuman, declare this temple to the machine god compromised and forthwith forbid all service within it. I dethrone the fabricator censor, the ignorant heretic who has betrayed the Omnissiah, and condemn as anathema any and all standard operation procedures implemented by him. Let the cycle of the blasphemous operations he has put in motion be discontinued. Pascal switches to binaric, and you hear the dissonance burgeoning in the depths of the Forge Cathedral. Some of the giant mechanisms heed his order and go still, while others, obeying fabricator sensors will continue their work. Crashes, explosions, and the clanging of crumpling metal signify that some dissent among the machines has interrupted the manufacturer's production cycle. Hanuman? Liar, you are not him. Dement's Hanuman obeys me. His mind is open to the voices of the void, and the scrap code he creates protects my world. And I'll not have you, you rusted refuse from the misfit cast of explorers, call me ignorant. This statement is false. Your regalia has been revoked. You have been deemed defective and will be eliminated. Initiating heretic search designation, Dement's Hanuman. I wish to execute the retribution procedure. The removal of unserviceable artifacts was the first step towards retooling the world. Only my tech comrades heeded the call of the truth that reached into their cogitators and allowed them to pierce the veil of empty dogmas. Poor old Gaprak. 10 or so years back, he told me he felt uneasy in the presence of the Tin Can comrades. I mean, the esteemed Adeptus Mechanicus. He casually complained about not having been dealt a normal planet. I'll have to honor his memory with a prayer once we have finished purging this place. Thankfully, the fabricator censor here did not require any urging to confess the treason. Even the cursory analysis of the data shows that the probability of this outcome is negligible. You, like your predecessor, are but an artifact of certain calculations, one that requires minimal resources to revise. You've been driven by your will to fight, but know this. Kiava Gamma has already been converted, its lines have been restructured, and its servants have already tasted the fruits of progress. In the crucibles of this manufactorum, torrid liquid metals will be used to forge vessels for sacred spirits. The adepts are already tirelessly delving deeper into new mysteries that were once barred by false tenets. You, servants of fake gods, are too late. The entire might of this world will soon rise up against the anathema and his slaves. So many open admissions of heresy in so few sentences. Sister, how many death sentences would you say his words warrant? I cannot answer that, Master Van Calix. It is not my duty to measure the guilt of heretics. When the Adeptus Sororitas appear before the enemies of the Imperium, it is time to fire, not count. And now is one of those times. Yeah, let's insult him. Comrades, purge the manufactorum of any random variables. I must prepare for the culmination of our great work.
won't tolerate weakness.
See? Right there. I better myself through my service.
As you approach the cogitator, you notice the number of deep scratches left by huge claws on its metal surface. Despite the apparent damage, the machine seems to be in working condition. You touch the levers and reels on the cogitator panel and disturb the slumber of the machine spirits that reside within the cogitator. The machine dawdles as if still drowsy, but nevertheless performs its assigned function. Logs contain nothing of interest. The maintenance ritual schedule for the sacred machine that moves the bridge, and an activation log, and a few notes of religious nature entered by tech priests.
A new challenge for me.
Screen of cogitator shows a scrolling line of repeating Technolinguica. Okay, gives me a headache.
The burden of failure is the most terrible punishment.
Experience. Nothing matters more.
Oh. Something within the howling machine. Something is howling within the machine housing, as if the machine spirits of this cogitator are lamenting some irreparable loss. Your knowledge of machine spirits is sufficient to trick the system and subdue it to your will. A false query, okay? You touch the levers and reels on the control panel and disturb the slumber of Get
None
fucked.
shall stand in my way.
Operation
Maybe I should have blown that up.
We must act. That didn't go as I'd hoped. Take a knee and bow before me. Too easy. Suits my purposes. Not a problem for me. Already done.
Heavy is the tread of his faithful. The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all. Running by death right.
Really?
Never doubt me. Doubt is for the weak.
It will be done. Indeed. Victory is imminent. At your beck and call.
Nice, 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 nice.
The Emperor is on our side. Naturally. I won't object to it.
Nothing I can't do.
My vow is to serve.
Curb stomp him.
Function successfully terminated.
Guided by faith.
My place is at the fore. It will be done.
Everyone, step aside. But of course, Lord Captain. For the throne's glory. High momentum.
But of course.
Analyze.
On it. Be gone.
I shall not fear.
As the tactical imperative dictates. The scriptural prognosis is damage to bulk.
The enemies of the Emperor will be undone. I feel cold.
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones. Indeed. At your beck and call. I will do my duty. It will be done.
I need a foothold. Let's see to it.
Come at me! Will do.
Oh, oops.
My tactics are glorious.
Activate calculated fury algorithm. Request approved.
We have one down.
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury! Faith without deeds is worthless.
An exemplary strike.
I hope to meet the same
Fuck.
end.
Fuck.
A tactically sound approach. I've seen worse battles than this in my time. Victory is imminent. It will be done. At your beck and call. It will be done.
Suits my purposes. Not a problem for me.
The Omniscient comprehends all. Advancing.
Emperor commands, I act. God Emperor, move through me! Be the fire in my heart!
I need to do everything myself.
Fuck, 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 fuck.
Careful now. My place is at the fore. Indeed. I will do my duty.
Forge ahead. Nothing of value has been lost.
Brace yourself, Abelard.
Relics are failing.
Follow my lead.
My frail organics require this.
This wound will make a fine scar.
Integrity factor increase.
At your beck and call.
Okay, I would not have won without those servitors.
Never wavered in
Honestly.
the face of adversity.
Heavy is the tread of his faithful. The scriptural prognosis is favorable.
Pathetically sad of them.
Explorators know one route. Forward. Request approved.
I've seen worse battles than this in my time.
Activate calculated fury algorithm. The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all. Running binaric override.
Injury is not an excuse to shirk one's duty. My place is at the fore. Target.
All too easy.
Follow my lead. Victory is imminent.
I shall not fear. Nothing I can't do. Already done.
It will be done. No matter the cost. I will do my duty. Grey hair, sure hand. Reduced to dust.
Ha! Finally. Oh, they're assembling Daemon engines.
Victory awaits. What is that?
What advice do you seek?
Join me in prayer. The Emperor favors me today.
It's about time.
My success is an irrefutable certainty.
A pile of human remains carelessly tossed together emits a suffocating stench. The torn, gutted bodies once belonged to tech priests, but you cannot even spot a glint of metal anywhere. All their implants are gone. Suddenly, one of the ravaged bodies makes the tiniest movement. The tortured man's lips move ever so slightly, his half-closed eyelids twitching. The man can barely breathe without his respirator implant. It is a miracle he survived the horrific vivisection. But it takes you a single look at the gaping wound where the augment was ripped out to realize death is only a matter of time. As if having sensed your presence, the half-dead man looks at you and sharply inhales the hot air. Machine spirit, deliver me. The binaric requiem coming from Pascal's thoughts on Solomon Grimm. Upon hearing it, the man's mutilated face twists into a weak semblance of a smile. My comrades. His voice is barely audible. Machine spirit, has the Messiah truly abandoned us? Kiava Gamma has fallen into the maw of the eternal enemy. The holy Magi, they succumbed to heresy. The rest were stripped of their true flesh to feed the heresy. Preserve us, deliver me from erring. Sacrifice living blood from the vessels of true flesh, while heart is still beating after that oblivion. I knew you would come. I've waited so very long. Deliver me from my torment. What a horrible fate, to be betrayed by one's own. I attest the 3 categorical requirements for assigning the status of martyr of the faith have been met. Opposition to the enemy, preservation of adherence to dogma, and a brutal death. Requesting for right to extract the subject's organic matter for it to be used in the creation of an honorable servo skull. Leaning over the dying man, Pascal, in a decisive yet surprisingly respectful motion, cuts his throat. Wielding a long scalpel, it takes him mere moments to release the cervical vertebrae from the hold of muscle and sinew to cut the vertebrae, severing the head from the body. Let your service continue, comrade.
I won't tolerate weakness. I'll lay claim to the stars.
We should deal with this.
My Auspex has detected something.
Oh, they're funneling us.
Attention to detail is the key to success.
Sins hidden in the heart turn all to decay. I better myself through my service. Pay attention. Never doubt me. The Emperor favors me today. I better myself through my service.
Cogitator's panels has dozens of breakers, buttons, handle switches, and other control mechanisms. You discover the local data crypt with contents collected by either previous operators or the machine spirit itself. Using your access, you study the archives stored on the Cogitator. At first glance, the records look like typical shipping report, but after further reading, it becomes apparent that the focus here is not on ore assemblers parts, but augments extracted from living tech priests and spent mass, the flesh of victims killed either during or for the sake of the machine rituals. The log looks damaged. The lines are uneven, and some of the values seem impossible. After a few minutes of studying the records, you feel your head begin to swim. The stored data can only be comprehended by a twisted mind and touched by chaos corruption. This record looks like the sermon of some mad chaos worshipper. The log, clearly written from someone else's words, mentions the heart that exudes virtue and the cradle that rocks the child of truth.
None shall stand in my way.
Is that? System accepts the access codes. The clanging of moving bolts indicates the door has been unlocked.
Follow my lead.
Oh, what the fuck is that? Screen of a cogitator. Oh, okay.
It's about time.
Numerous wires and pipes run to the filthy cages, which are filled with what looks like a conglomeration of human bodies. You cannot make out who is in the cage, but the bright blue sparks flash intermittently into darkness, while the massive flesh twitches and shudders. Heinrich casts a scrutinizing eye over one of the cages before withdrawing his weapon and approaching to examine what lies inside. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Through the metal bars, you see it truly is a pile of human bodies, or something that used to be. The monstrously deformed bodies have fused together in places, while others were severed using saws and knives, leaving wounds, seeping pus, slime, wounds that are urinating and sprouting tendons, rods connected to wires that run to a nearby cogitator, bristle across the flesh. One of the human heads turns to you. Mercy. Even attempting to speak causes the mutant pain, but he bears the agony and forces out the words. Mercy, make it stop. Fuck. You peer at the pulsating mass of flesh. Beneath the thin film coating the skin of the monstrous creation, you can see the throbbing veins that snake through the flesh and the flowing young ichor. The creature looks like a conglomeration of several people, squeezed together by brutal hands into a single whole. Heinrich takes in his surrounding and once again fixes his attention on the contents of the nearest cage. I'm beginning to have some idea. The Lex mechanic mentioned the inhabitants of the lower levels who had been imprisoned in their homes. He said that some of them were brought here. The cultists did something to these poor people in their own home. Now they are studying the result. To know the workings of dark sorcery means allowing corruption into oneself. These are warp mutations, no doubt. Perhaps there was some side effect, and that is why they were brought here, to be connected to the sensors and cogitators. Even fallen tech priests who have rejected the Omnissiah are driven by a perverted hunger for knowledge. Heinrich carefully studies the screens of computing machines. Lingua technis, corrupted by the scrap code, I'm sure. It's unlikely we will be able to extract anything of value from their data crypts. Thinking, Heinrich clenches his fist and bites down on a knuckle, and then recoils when the mutant from the nearest cages reaches a hand out to him through the bars. You, a female face, watches from within the gloom of the cage. Even through her half of her head has been turned into a mass of bones and lumpen growths, her single eye looks out at you with a surprising amount of intelligence. You promised us! Her words are echoed by the other voices in the depths of the cage. Heinrich leans towards the cage, but at sufficient distance to ensure that the mutant cannot reach him. Who are you talking to? What did they promise you? Who are they? You took us from the inferno. You promised us a reward. Her face contorts into a grimace, and the creature's lips stick together like melted wax. I'll be damned, they can still speak. They remember the people who did this to him. Heinrich balls his fists in powerless rage, then he frowns in thought. Perhaps a little biomancy will allow us to draw the fragments of knowledge out of them, or it will trigger further changes. A little biomancy. This is a tangle of flesh and bone that by some freakish miracle still happens to have a soul and a mind. Come on, Iceman, let them die in peace already. Heinrich turns to Adira. You do not see his face, but you do see Adira suddenly shrink and cast her eyes down. Not missing Pascal's sober interest in the proceeding, which he is dutifully recording in a data slate, Abelard raises a brow. Esteemed Magos, these are your comrades. If I may ask, do you feel any compassion for them, or at the very least regret? Regret for the losses that these poor people represent to the Adeptus Mechanicus? Negative. What I am currently observing is my tech comrades, but it's not my tech comrades, but merely their biological functioning remains fashioned into a specimen of an unnatural perversion of technology. I am under no directives to feel any affinity for such specimens. My psychic abilities allow me to affect the human body. It is one of the most effective tools to use against individuals who resist questioning, but if you're suggesting that I want to use it, I think you are getting a little ahead of yourself. The effect of warp energy will likely lead to an explosive reaction. I do not know the precise mechanisms of this mutation. Results could be even more monstrous than its current state. Yes, but it's possible another person would refuse to make such a choice. But we can use this situation to help. their investigation. Heinrich hesitates for a moment, then closes his eyes and raises one hand. You are enveloped by an otherworldly chill. The mass of flesh in the cage suddenly rears up. The mutant wrenches open its glued-together lips and begins wailing frantically. The shrieking is echoed by a chorus of howls and tortured moans coming from the nearby cages. The mutant changes before your eyes. The tumors recede like an ebbing tide, revealing an emaciated female face twisted in agony. The woman gasps for air and stretches her now mobile neck and exclaims, "Liar! You promised to kill me! You promised me deliverance! Every one of you! Everyone told me to have hope, and the pain would go. Accept the truth, for that is hope. My only hope is to be freed from this pain. Please make it so. Make it..." A lump of flesh behind her head shudders and sends out smooth, fat tentacles that cover her wailing face and drag it into itself. You feel the pressure in your ears. From the cage, you hear a steady, almost imperceptible sound that fills you with despair and horror. With a sigh, Heinrich lowers his hand and looks at what the creature within the cage has become. A wetly gleaming mass of meat and gristle that no longer bears any hint of human origins. It pulses vigorously. And that's it? The limitations of dying people? No, not just that. What it said about hope sounds like a lie of chaos, which it uses to take root in weak minds. I believe the corrupted tech priests repeated this phrase like an echo of what had been instilled in them. Whatever the cult of the Final Dawn is planning, false hope is a key component of their plan. It's a lead, a small one, but still a lead. That's that, then. But you know what bothers me, Rogue Trader? The number of people here. There are too few. The lower levels of similar manufactorums are inhabited by millions. Whatever happened to the rest of them? I know I won't like the answer. Let's go. We still haven't done what we came here to do.
This place is steeped in corruption, which means that it must be cleansed with fire down to the last crevice.
Sister, tame your fervor. Your zeal is laudable, but first I must ascertain the intentions of the archenemy, not crush his manifestations without a second thought.
Massive cogitators grows out of the metal bulkheads like a grotesque tumor. A hollow roar sounds from deep within the metal housing. Whatever spurred the computer into action, it has enough power to supply a small command center. As soon as your eyes fall upon the cogitator, you feel a tingling in your temples. Every nook, every component of the machine radiates a sense of wrongness, one that is difficult to explain but no less palpable for that, as though the construct itself defies the laws of physics and perspective. Heinrich makes a warning gesture, his voice ringing slightly with tension and spreaded with disquiet. "Stop, Emilia. This is a creation of the archenemy. Don't go near it. You have done enough for me and my mission. Don't put yourself at risk now." As soon as Heinrich takes another step towards the cogitator, it emits a deafening shriek like hundreds of metal needles driving into toughened glass as though sensitive to the stranger. Wincing, Heinrich approaches the control panel and bends down towards the screen. And despite the heat clogging the room, you feel an ice-cold breeze. Heinrich is clearly using his psyker abilities to try and fend off the pernicious effects of the Chaos artifact. The Omnissiah's grace has not touched this object. The mechanism was not desecrated but born flawed and unnatural. Iron most profane. Pascal unhurriedly produces a data slate. Initiating observation log. Let not fear stand in the path of knowledge. Heinrich is too engrossed in his examination of the control panel to stop you. You draw closer to the side of the section of the cogitator housing, which has several thick cables running from it. With each step towards the flickering screens, your feeling that the cogitator is watching you with rapidly blinking eyes grows stronger and stronger. Up close, you see that besides the buttons, switches, toggles, cogitators, casing is also covered in strange writing. The cogitator displays a wall of text on its screens. The string of symbols is a senseless mixture of numbers, formulas, and unfamiliar characters. There seems to be no logic to it, and yet there is no doubt the cogitator is computing and calculations on a prodigious scale. Lord Captain, no, please don't. Just don't look. The whispers aren't saying nothing good will come of it. You really should just step away from the thing. A bundle of cables is coming from the broken side panel of the cogitator. They were clearly added after the machine came off the manufacturer's production line. The wires snake along the floor and disappear inside the maintenance hatch that leads somewhere down below. You take a step backwards, and suddenly one of the cogitator screens changes color, becoming a bright yellow. Your eyes are helplessly drawn to the film close to you. You turn sharply away from the screen, and you can almost feel invisible shackles falling away. The realization comes a moment later. You are not fighting against your own curiosity, but against something's malevolent will, which now has its hold on you. A minute passes, then another. You watch Heinrich examine the cogitator. His eyes scan the screens, his hand starting from needle to lever, or sometimes hovering uncertainly above the next switch, which immediately receives a coating of frost. At some point, you hear his voice, almost a whisper, barely audible above the clanging, roaring machine. Sacrifices, more and more sacrifices every minute. Hecatombs determinants. The womb of this cursed machine is down on the lower levels. The auxiliary enumerator controls the system for delivering molten waste onto the manufacturer's main building. The cogitator is fueled by the energy harnessed from thousands of people. We're flowing beneath our feet as slag waste as we speak. But I cannot even imagine the reason for sacrificing all these people. It's inconceivable. Now we know why the fabricator censor prized this monster so highly. The cursed tech priests and his associates created something that went beyond the limits of omnissiah's power. This machine was designed to process myriad possibilities using warp sorcery. It's almost finished its task. It predicts the future, Emilia. Do not attempt to gain insight into the essence of the machines corrupted by the archenemy, at least not if you value your soul. I have encountered the heretics' mechanical abominations before. To truly fathom their natures, to allow a particle of death into your heart. But the fruit they bear, no matter how abhorrent their instruments, the fruit they bear could be useful. Yes, I'm corrupting him! Yes, let's allow the machine to finish its calculations. Wish to know what precisely the cult's minions were so desperate to see in the future. Perhaps, if we were to increase the power, it would be finished sooner. Yes! Heinrich vacillates for another moment, and his hands come to rest on the cogitator switches. I will accelerate the process so that everything is over as soon as possible. As cogitator screams flash and the guttural roar in its depths turns into a frantic shriek that seems to contain the depth of cries of thousands. Heinrich bends over the keys and flinches as if from an electric shock. His head snaps back unnaturally, and you see his lips moving. The cogitator lets out a roar that grows louder by the second.
Annihilate them! Suits my purposes. I'll pass. too easy. Suits my purposes. Already done.
The road. Naturally. But of course, Lord Captain.
Guided by faith. I'll do it.
There is movement in the Empyrean. Anything else? Will do.
Indeed.
We function as one. The scriptural proof.
Nothing I can't do. Suits my purposes. Nothing I can't do. Already done.
I won't object to it. Let's see to it. Someone's death wish is mine.
The enemies of the Emperor will be undone!
On it. Will do. But of course.
Fuck.
It will be done. Victory is imminent. It will be done. At your beck and call.
Running binary override. The Omniscient knows all, comprehends all. Request approved.
I won't go down easy.
Not a problem for me. Suits my purposes. Ah! Another clean strike.
I've suffered worse.
I won't object to it.
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury! As the Emperor commands, I act.
Anything else? Will do.
It will be done. One fewer target.
My vow is to serve.
Ashes, I will rise.
But of course, Lord Captain.
Heal yourself.
Injuries will not slow me. God Emperor, move through me. Be the fire in my heart.
I'll channel my pain into anger.
The whispers call to me. Anything else?
Only in death does
Was that you? Or
I will do my duty. It will be done. At your beck and call.
The scriptural prognosis is favorable. Request approved. Take the defense over the body of the fallen unit.
All too easy.
Fuck, really?
Pain and duty go hand in hand.
Guided by faith.
Oh, fuck,
Faith
Didn't
without deeds is
see.
worthless.
Fuck, fuck, fuck.
Indeed. It will be done. Victory is imminent. Reduced to dust! Why is there reason?
As the tactical imperative dictates. Running binary override.
Just a minor setback.
Nothing I can't do.
It escaped the Emperor's judgment. I'll do it.
At your beck and call. I will do my duty. At your beck and call. Indeed.
Ha ha ha!
My vow is to serve. The Omnissiah knows all. Comprehends all. Running binary override.
My tactics are flawless. Suits my purposes. Already done. Opposing me was your biggest mistake.
One fewer target.
The enemies of the Emperor will be undone. As the Emperor feeds, drunk is a prey.
It will be done.
The scriptural prognosis is favorable. Request approved.
Nothing I can't do. You didn't stand a chance.
I'll do it. The pain will subside.
My frail mechanics required it.
A tactically sound approach.
Running binary override. Request approved. Activating force mode sacrament.
Heinrichs goes back to the broken-down cogitator, spending a while examining the instrument panel, and then disconnects the compartment resembling a data crypt, which he quickly stows into his cartridge belt. That's where this machine was put into operation for. Countless symbols and numbers containing knowledge of things to come. I hope my specialists will find a way to decipher the corrupted code. I hypothesize that my services will not be needed. The disappointment and resignation are clear in Pascal's voices. You are correct, Magos. I am grateful for your help, but unfortunately I must conceal the fruits of our labor from you. As you have seen, my caution is well founded. Restriction recognized as valid. We'll talk about it later, but right now. I must thank you, Emilia. Without your help and cooperation, I doubt I would have reached the depths of Kiava Gamma and learned the truth behind my agent's dispatches and reports. I would never have ended up here, and I would never have succeeded in hampering the cult's activities. Dare I hope, esteemed interrogator, that your keen interest in this von Valancius world has been satisfied. Oh, apart from the fact that the world is still seized by the archenemy's corruption, its populace is infected with heresy, and the once sacred machines of its manufacturing have been turned into weapons against humanity. Quite satisfied, yes. My business on Kiava Gamma is concluded. It is time to return to the mission that brought you to the industrial world. The only thing I'll ask of you is an audience when we return to the ship.
A new challenge for me?
There.
stars.
Reading damage to bulk.
It's nothing!
None shall stand in my way.
Okay, there we go.
To what do I owe this visit? More than. The data we retrieved is already in the hands of the Inquisition, in the custody of those who can extract the secrets of the future from the claws of chaos. The sacrifices made to the Cogitator will not have been for nothing. We dealt a blow not only to the cultists, but to the archenemy itself. I cannot help but be pleased. However, there is something I must tell you. Back there, at the Cogitator, my decision to let it complete its operation allowed me to... I can't even find words, to perceive something of what is to come. You deserve to know this. The cult is threatening the worlds within your protectorate, after all. I could choose to think of it as an echo of the past, or a specter of the future, but that's not it. Warp sorcery joins stretches of time together, violating the accepted sequence and flow of events. I heard a resonance of the person behind the cult. I faced demons more than once before, but this... I couldn't have imagined such a concentration of evil and corruption. I am convinced that one of the greater demons is behind the cult of the Final Dawn. Beware the day when that demon finds a way to appear in this world. No servant of the God Emperor has closer dealings with corruption than the agents of the Golden Throne.
Good.
In its quest to guard the Imperium against its foes' most devious and secret schemes, the Inquisition seeks to understand the essence of evil. It is not enough for us to burn or cut down a rotten seedling. We must study it, understand it, touch it. Every time any of us do our duty, we are risking our very souls. But when it comes to Psykers, the soul of a Psyker is especially enticing to the archenemy. I was operating the machine created by the servants of the archenemy, and in doing so, I attracted the attention of the cult's master. Thank the throne that it was only a glancing touch. If it hadn't been, we would not be speaking here today. When I touched the cult's cogitator, I drew the thousand-eyed gaze of evil upon myself, as any agent does when they interfere in the schemes of those who serve the ruinous powers. And that evil undoubtedly left an invisible mark upon me, as it does on any acolyte who fights against the archenemy. And this will be the case every time I do my duty. I know a good deal about the fates of those who have served the throne before me. Enough to know that my path leads to one place, and one place only.
Death or corruption?
My visit to Kiava Gamma did not produce answers to all my questions, but we did succeed in dealing a blow to the cult by destroying the Fabricator Sensor's machine. I have directed my spies to track the sect's surviving leaders. I am certain that they will have useful information for us soon. Though small, this is a victory for the Golden Throne, and I have you to thank for it. Thank you for finding the time for our conversation. The cult's ordinary members are humans who have been corrupted by the archenemy, traitors to the Imperium, and accomplices of chaos. Participation in the cult's rituals always entails brainwashing, literally and figuratively. The longer cult members spend among other cultists, the less critically they think, and the more closely they resemble obedient livestock, stripped of their fear and instinct for self-preservation. The worst of them go to their deaths without an inkling of doubt, ready to take hundreds and thousands of souls with them. As for those at the top of the cult's hierarchy, we have not yet managed to get a lead on all of the cult's leaders. I imagine that some of them are hiding in the depths of the Coronis Expanse, but those who are orchestrating the fanatics on nearby worlds are hiding very well indeed, or receiving protection from above. Governors, commanders, rogue traders. History is full of those who neglect their duty to the Golden Throne and seek allies in the wrong places. We discovered the first traces of it as soon as we arrived in the Coronis Expanse. Since then, the more we learn, the better we see just how far the roots of this blight extend. Destroying individual cells is pointless. We must cut this beast off at its head. As you wish.
Okay, how do I go deeper into this fucking place? This fucking awful, awful, awful place.
My whispers crave entertainment.
Oh, I think I know what we do here. Should have done this earlier. Well, I think it was a good idea to go back to the ship, honestly. honestly.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Observation report on Hendrix Van Kalos. The unit's professional skills make him a suitable candidate for data interrogator servo skull conversion. I am proposing.
I will have to decline your generous offer, Magos. I would rather keep serving the Golden Throne with my full complement of limbs.
It's about time. Excellence matters.
The eerie-looking makeshift structure is an altar to Tzeentch. Amid the revolting totems and twisted symbols dedicated to the Chaos God, you notice a string of nines burned into the metal surface. The crucified body had all of its augmetics removed. Judging by the abundance of blood, they were ripped out when the tech priest was still alive.
A new challenge for me?
Dements. The tech priest tears himself away from reading his data slate and looks up at you. His respiratory augmetic is missing. Instead, the lower half of his face is covered in deathly pale artificial flesh. You take note of a multitude of fresh augmetics attached to his head. They seem to have been inserted haphazardly, and pus is seeping from the untreated wounds. I heard your footsteps in the void. You are von Valancius, are you not? Pascal exchanges a series of binaric signals with the tech priest before saying menacingly, "Initiating arrest procedure. This unit is using a fabricated identification code, which constitutes a grade 4 transgression." His white and lifeless lips stretch into a smile. "My name is Dements Hanuman. I believe it is familiar to you." "The statement is false. This unit stands accused of identity theft. I am guilty of many things, but not the transgression you speak of. I have stolen nothing from you, my tech comrade, unlike many others who have indeed wronged you." "Another? I have the right to bear this name. It is my humble inheritance, which I received from Arch-Magos Amarnat. And to renounce it is to betray his ideas. The blessed Amarnat taught us that the cycle must be discontinued. It seems I have become his best student. Now I aspire to know all and comprehend all as is the Omnissiah's will. Blasphemy! Should you continue these sacrilegious mentions of sacred litanies and heretical perversions of the blessed Amarnat's philosophy, you won't be destroyed." "You wish to sound outraged, but I sense your curiosity. I understand. Knowledge is intoxicating. This craving for new knowledge gnaws on me as well, but be patient. I am deciphering a great mystery, and my name became the start of the key. I analyzed the archives and found it in places where it should not be. Hanuman, Hanuman, Hanuman. I keep seeing this marker upon the traces of a great plot, of the deception created by Arch-Magos Amarnat. No sound mind is capable of such twisted cunning, but my mind was no longer sane. It could no longer stay sane within the narrow confines of the norm. Each new discovery loosened the imperatives of obedience and granted an ever greater freedom. I developed. I avoided the traps of the maimed hunter who seeks to hide the truth. But words mean little. Do you want me to show you the truth?" The tech priest turns his data slate around. Its vid screen is covered with green runes performing an ungodly dance of computation. Pascal casts a quick glance over the data slate and says with contempt, "The sacred logic is impaired. Your calculations are disagreements, yet they are still correct. Then become my servant. I will seize your weak brain and replace it with Ferrum Sanctum, capable of receiving signals from the Immaterium. Then you will understand. There's no need for secrecy. Let her understand. Following the voluntary surrender, I will be willing to commute the punishment from immediate destruction to arrest and isolation for the purpose of conducting an exhaustive investigation. Request denied, Tech Comrade. You will have to pull what I know out from my head.
I will heed your cries of mercy.
I'll turn you into corpse starch.
Not a problem for me. Nothing I can't do. Already done. Not my specialty. All too easy. Nothing I can't do. Nothing of value has been lost.
Nice. Oh, damn.
On it. Anything else?
Hold on! Ah! Pain and duty go hand in hand.
Oh, shit.
Faith without deeds is worthless. This is unacceptable. I refuse.
I'll put my psychic abilities to use.
Let's see to it.
Naturally. I won't object to it.
I've seen worse battles than this in my time. Victory is imminent. Someone else can do this. At your beck and call. Indeed.
Running binary override. Significant value. Request approved. The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all. Request approved.
Nice, nice, nice.
But of course. Anything else? I'm not so sure.
Let's make it quick. Here we go.
I'll do it.
High momentum.
Doubt is for the weak.
But of course, Lord Captain. Let's see to it. Not sanctioned to do this.
I will do my duty. At your beck and call. It will be done.
Running binary override. The scriptural prognosis is favorable. My vow is to serve.
my purposes. You didn't stand a chance.
Nice, nice, nice.
I know what is to come. Will do. The whispers must be appeased.
Out of my way! Let's get to it!
So that's what that feeling was about.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
Get me a target. Naturally. For the throne's glory. But of course,
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones. At your beck and call. Target well struck.
Nothing I can't do. All too easy.
Nice, nice, nice.
Was that you? Or...
Let's get to it.
Another one is down. Absurd.
Fuck. Abelard, no, goddammit. Why?
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury. I'll do it.
everyone, step aside. I won't object to it. I'm done with this one.
Pascal stands motionless as he stares at the heretic's corpse. After a long silence, he finally says in a hollow voice, I am taking his neural cogitator. The data contained within must be analyzed to supplement the catechism of maintenance and operation. The statement is true. The value of the data justifies the risk. A mishmash of steel wire and some augmentations shaped by madmen into an unknown and frightening monstrosity.
I'll lay claim to the stars. Done.
The vats which were previously used to store fuel oil have been turned into reservoirs for blood, an ingredient for the vile rituals that have replaced the orderly protocols of the manufactura. Crucified body... Oh, I think I saw that one already. The curved parts appear foreign compared to the ordinary geometry of a manufactorum. The many holes and fasteners indicate that each component serves as but a single part of some wicked design.
Victory awaits! Follow my lead.
Compared to naval service, that was barely a challenge.
I feel cold.
This explorator is blessed with multifunctionality.
The car is filled with refuse, broken pieces of spare parts, chopped up lumps of flesh, bits of wire, and other rubbish.
This ocular implant was a worthwhile investment.
It's about time.
I woke up with a feeling of wonder, as if a field of flowers was blossoming nearby. A child was saved from death. 1,000 heretics were burning alive, begging and sobbing and howling.
Okay, that fight there looks optional.
Watching the lazy handle sacred technology breaks my heart. Figuratively speaking, my cardiovascular augmentation can withstand much more than high blood pressure.
A new challenge for me.
Huge machine looks forsaken by spirits. No humming or rattling is coming from within the casing.
quickly.
Let the blood flow!
Suits my purposes. Nothing I can't do. Suits my purposes. I don't have time for this. Not a problem for me.
God Emperor, move through me. Be the fire in my heart. As the Emperor commands, I act. I'll do it.
My place is at the fore. Indeed. Victory is
Stomping Wellens down.
They who discern the future on the battlefield. Not this scryer's job. Will do. That is not my destiny. But of course. On it. Will do.
I need a foothold. I'll put my psychic abilities to use. Naturally. Let's see to it.
Request approved.
serve the ruinous powers!
Already done.
Nice.
Guided by faith! As the Emperor commands, I act. None can escape the Emperor's judgment.
Nice, 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 nice.
I will do my duty. It will be done.
Strike is a prayer.
Cover me.
The Emperor is on our side. Nothing stands against me. But of course, Lord Captain.
Advancing. My vow is to serve.
I won't go down.
Blessed are those who sacrifice for the
Shit, shit,
Imperium.
shit, shit, shit.
All too easy. Opposing me was your biggest mistake.
Follow my lead. At your beck and call. It will be done. Victory is imminent. Indeed. Grey hair, sure hand.
Now.
Was that you? Or... But of course.
Target well struck.
Nothing I can't do. Suits my purposes. Ah! Another clean strike.
Faith without deeds is worthless. This is why I was chosen.
I've seen worse battles than this in my time. I will do my duty. At your beck and call, an exemplary strike. Target well struck. For von Valancius. An exemplary strike. Victory is grey hair, sure hand. Indeed.
Nice!
I won't tolerate
Whispers
weakness.
told me a secret.
Join me in prayer. Never doubt me.
Upon noticing you, Cubus Delphin straightens. You hear the clanging and groaning of metal as as if the pistons and bearings and the fabricator sensor's augmented body have fused together. Repellent scrapes and screeches punctuate his speech. You, the probability of navigating your way, of reaching the inner line, was negligible. The primordial truth guards me in my work. Then why is it that this variable has yet to be diminished? An impossibility. I am not a variable that can be extracted from the process without acutely affecting the probability of its successful realization. Possibly a stress test. Unexpected. Steel creations destined to serve the designs of the truth. Did you see the elegance of their form, their flawless ergonomics? And those are mere shells. True perfection fills them when they are instilled with the spark of life and granted purpose, to bring wrath upon the heads of apostates, once this army is assembled. But why waste words? You will see for yourself a modicum of the splendor that is in store for the Cronus Expanse. The fabricator sensor straightens his back and shoulders. You hear a mounting hum as if some powerful turbines, followed by a heavy footsteps and the grinding of metal against metal. Fucking two of them? Okay. Oh. Thank you. What is that thing? The fabricator sensor lets up. Oh, I can't do that just yet. This is a bad idea. Witness the weapon designed to carry the glory of the true gods into the darkness of the Cronus Expanse. My shepherd has sent me one of his iron angels, so that its very presence may instill faith and awe in the hearts of his flock. Accept the greatness of the primordial truth, united with the might of the new Kiava Gamma, and then perish.
Purge the unclean. Nothing I can't do. Already done. Suits my purposes. Nothing I can't do.
Back now.
Just a minor setback.
Doubt is for the weak.
Oh, that killed my own cover. Fuck.
I'll do it.
So much stuff I should have done. Fuck. Fuck.
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones. I will do my duty. It will be done. At your beck and call.
Shit.
Everyone, step aside. I won't object to it. Naturally. Let's see to it.
improvement in the Imperium. Will do. On it. Anything else?
Thyself. Now.
Explorers know one route. Forward. Request approved. The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all. Request approved.
Not a problem for me. Already done. You didn't stand a chance.
Damage is negligible. High momentum.
It will be done. I will do my duty. At your beck and call.
What is their will?
Fuck, fuck, fuck.
Get me a target. For the throne's glory.
Fuck.
Throne take you.
Will do. Fast. But of course.
Suits my purposes. Nothing I can't do.
Pain and duty go hand in hand.
the Emperor commands, I act. I'll do it.
I've suffered worse. The healing is much appreciated. Indeed. It will be done. I will do my duty. My ears are ringing.
Oh, that was not really what I wanted.
Make it.
Conservative tactics.
I hope to meet the same end.
Faith without deed. You, my Emperor! As the Emperor commands, I act. Faith shields me.
Time to prove my mettle.
Will do.
Suits my purpose. There's nowhere to hide.
My worst day. Yet.
That was insulting.
Inches! I'm enraged!
It will be done. At your beck and call. Victory is imminent. At your beck and call.
Not a problem for me. All too easy. Another clean strike.
Doubt is for the weak. As the Emperor commands, I act. Faith without deed.
We're at a tactical disadvantage. Indeed. gun. I'd rather not.
Won't spell me. Nothing I can't do. Suits my purposes.
I'll revert to more conservative tactics.
I will take all of you with me.
Another voice to join my choir. I've never felt pain like this.
Okay, I think I might be dead.
Was that you? Or... On it!
Okay, Adira, you're going to need to solo 2 Forge Fiends and a guy with a gun. I believe in you. I should not have believed.
I feel cold. Ill fortune has found me.
Okay, let's see where... I come back from. All the way back here. Okay. So I think that's it for the night. So until next time, have fun and take care of each other out there. Good night.